everybody. This is Sam, the Frugal Hugel gardener. I'm sitting outside first thing in the morning, and I'm going to do an unboxing of some Big Jim Loquat seeds. Now, as you know, on my property, I have 3 different varieties of Loquats. Just so I get it right, I have a Vista White Loquat tree. You know, they're whitish and they're small. They taste great. I have an early red Loquat tree. They're still small. Of course, they're reddish and they taste great. And then I have the golden nugget Loquat tree, which you find all over the place. Now, I purchased those 3 online, and when they came in, they were about this big. Now they're full grown and they're producing fruit. I'll show you those in a second. And then I went down to a local tree that I've been eating off of for years. I go there when they're fruiting. I take off a whole bunch and enjoy it while I'm taking a walk down the beach. I got some of those seeds as I was eating them. I planted them and they are doing great right now. I put them in different areas. But I did not do any videos. I just did some photos as they were growing, as they were propagating. So this time I wanted to do a video on propagating from seed Loquat. And in this case, it's a Big Jim. Now, I've been looking for Big Jim plants, can't find them, and I've been looking for seeds. So I finally found some seeds from a girl who did a YouTube video. They look great. So I ordered some and I got some. So I just came back from my mailbox. I opened up the top and let's see what's on the inside. It's looking good so far. Looking good so far. She definitely wrapped it up good. Okay, and as you can see, it's in foil. Anybody who ships through the mail knows that they X-ray so the foil protects it. Gonna open up the bag that she sent. And it looks like it's in moss, packed in moss. So let me go ahead and dump these out. Okay, so these are the Loquat seeds right here. They seem to be very moist. They're wet. Wow, there's a bunch of little black seeds here. I don't know what they are. I'll have to ask the girl. But here's the Loquat seeds right here. I wish they were dry instead of wet, but they're really wet and moist. I don't know if they were dry before she sent them. So maybe she knows something I don't know. I prefer them to be dry. Now I'm taking off the coating, which you don't have to do. Ah. It looks like it's already germinated, possibly. Let me do another one over here and see. Of course, I paid for them, so I'm going to plant all of these. I just want to open this up for the video. I'm taking off the outer shell, which you don't have to do. Okay, it's green. Okay, so these are looking good. So what I'm gonna do is I got some pots. I'm gonna go ahead and fill these up with potting soil and with some Florida native sandy soil and perlite, and then we're gonna plant these. But before I do, let's go check out some of my loquat plants. Okay, so I decided to go ahead and fill up the pots with potting soil. I wet everything down, they drain really good, so I'm all set to go. Potting soil, chips, it has a little sand in it, peat moss, and it also has perlite. We're good to go. The reason why I decided to do this right away, I don't want these seeds to dry out. I want to just go ahead and pot them. So let me go ahead and do this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start putting these in the pots. I do not know how many there are, so I'm going to start and go around. Okay, perfect. I have 10 pots and there's 4 seeds in each pot. And like I say, I don't know what those black seeds are, so I'm not going to plant them, but I'm going to go ahead and try to find out, contact the person. Okay, so I put all that back in here, and here's the seeds. So what I want to do now, there's 4 in each pot. So I'm going to go 2 and 2, 2 and 2. Separate them a little bit by just taking my finger and going like that. Create 4 little holes. And I'm going to put the seeds in just like that. They're just under the soil a little bit. Whenever you plant seeds, whether they're tiny seeds or larger seeds, you always go by the length of the seed. So these are going to be down 3/4 of an inch, and then I'm going to cover them up. Okay, so let me show you what I'm doing with this one right here. I'm going to take my finger and go like this and like that. That's perfect. And I'm going to put a seed in each hole and just push it in a little bit with my finger. And then I'm just going to cover it up. Same thing. 2 holes, 2 holes. And I'm going to put a seed in each hole, and then I'm going to press it down just a little bit. And then cover it back up. Two holes there, 2 holes there. Push them down a little bit. And the reason why I'm doing 2 and 2 and spacing them out is because once they grow, I'm going to separate these in 4s. 1, 2, I'll separate them, roots and all, compost it all, potting soil and all. and it'll be like a cross. I'll be able to take them right out. If you just throw them in, they'll be together, all the roots will be together. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Make sure they're in about the right distance. Cover them up. Okay, there's 4. There's 5. Let's go ahead and do these. Same thing. I'm just going to take it like this, put my finger in like that, and my other 2 fingers in like that. And then I'm just going to put these in the hole, and I'm just going to push it down just a little bit so I can put the soil around it. Now you don't want them too far up towards the top, because then the roots will be showing. You want the roots down and you want it to come up the height of the seed. Okay, 2 and 2. This is the last one. Okay, that's it. I have 5 there, 5 there, times 4. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20. Have 40 plants. Wow. 40. So of course, not all 40 are going to sprout. If just one in each one came up, I would be happy. If 2 came up, I'd be double happy. And 3 and 4 will be hitting the lottery. So by me going ahead and soaking these and wetting them, I don't need to go ahead and water them in now, because all this is already, when I put my fingers down, I can feel the water. Nothing's dripping out. Perfect. So I'm going to put these to the side. Now these, since the weather's nice, we're in October, we're in Florida, the weather's nice, I'm just going to put these on my porch. They'll get some morning sun, they'll get shade, they'll have heat from the house. In the wintertime, I'll bring them inside if we're going to have a freeze, and I'll put them on my lighting station with the LED lights. But for right now, they can stay outside. So what I want to do now is wash off my hands, and I want to show you the last Loquats that I seeded, and then also the ones that I got that were like the smalls. They were like a foot tall, little twigs, and they're giving fruit now. So let me go wash my hands. I'll come back and we'll go take a little tour. Okay, so my hands are clean. These are all potted, and we're gonna go take a little tour, because my Loquats are now budding and turning into blossoms, and this is their time of the year: October, November, December, January, February, and March and April. They're gonna have fruit on them ready to harvest. So now these are Big Jim, and the reason why I've been looking for them, they're hard to find. I haven't seen any for sale, otherwise I would have bought the plants. But hey, I don't mind starting from seed. It takes a little longer, but they turn out really well. But now these are like 1.5 inches round. They're the size of a chicken egg, maybe even a little bigger than a chicken egg. So I wanted some of these. Boy, I'll be able to just eat them off of the plant, make some pies, some jams, and just enjoy them. All the other ones taste great, and I'm sure these will. There's just more flesh to it. So anyway, with that said, let's go ahead and see how my loquats are doing. Okay, so this loquat plant over here, I started from seed. It's doing nicely. You can see I put fencing around everything or the deer will eat all of the leaves off of them. But there you go, I started that, and that's looking nicely. Okay, so here's another loquat tree I planted from seed. It's doing really well. Now I let all these grow wild around here. Then they're real wet when you go ahead and harvest them and pick them. Now I go ahead and give these to my chickens, so I let them grow and then I pull them up. And it doesn't matter if they go around and they're next to the plant. The plants do really well with them next to it. So this loquat plant here is doing really nice. Now this loquat plant right in here, you can see I started this from seed, and you can see it's doing nice. It's about up to my chest right now, so it really likes the place that I put it. So it's doing nice, I'm liking it. Of course, it's right next to a cranberry hibiscus, and you can see I got this around for the deer. Okay, so this one right here is surrounded by cranberry hibiscus, which I keep trimming, and it seems to be doing really good. Now once this gets taller, the cranberry hibiscus will be down below and that will be out the middle, so I'm kind of liking the way it's all coming out. Okay, so this loquat tree is getting covered up by Seminole pumpkin squash over here, and I just let it grow wild. It doesn't bother me because I want them. And it's doing good. It was a little dry at one time, but you can see it's growing nicely. Okay, so this one here in the pot, I didn't have this around it, and the deer came in and ate this plant. It's making a comeback. I'm going to move this pot because it needs to be watered, and I got to put some chips around it. But this is going to turn into a nice healthy plant. It's starting to split, so I'm going to have to trim it up too. Okay, so this loquat tree over here I got from a nursery online, Willis, and they shipped it to me. It was only about 12 inches tall, skinnier than that branch. And if you're patient, look what happens. It turned into a really nice loquat tree. And last year it fruited. And this year, let's check out the blossoms. Well, as you can see, there's blossoms. Or actually, there's buds. I noticed yesterday there was blossoms coming in during the day. But here's the buds. They're doing good. You can see all of them. They're starting to fill out. They got a ways to go. I did notice some blossoms opening up yesterday. Maybe they closed up in the evening. Oh, here you go. Here they are. You can see some blossoms. They're opening right now. So we're at the stage right now that I got the buds on there and the blossoms are opening up. You see, loquats get a lot on each plant. So you can tell this tree's doing good. Now, I got videos on how to prune them, and if you look, it's all open. If you look, it's all open in the middle and down below. You see that? Go down from here up. It's all open, so there's airflow. When I weed eat over here, you can see I got the corrugated pipe so I don't damage the base of the loquat plant, the tree. It's important to put something around the base if you're going to weed eat around the plant or the tree. Otherwise, a plant will get cut in half, and this tree, the weed eater, would take off the bark on the bottom. So now, if the string of the weed eater hits that, it doesn't damage the plant or the tree. So this is a really nice, healthy plant. You can see how I pruned it. I got everything going like an upside down umbrella. I got bottom ones, and I got middle ones and top ones. I took out the center because I don't want these trees getting 20 feet tall like they can. I want it to stay manageable because I'm going to drape a net over it, because the birds, once these are ripe, the birds come right in and eat them all up in 2 or 3 days. So I want them to where I could go ahead and drape a net over them so the birds don't eat them all. I got this on it so the deer don't eat the leaves and they don't strip the bark off of the tree. And I could harvest and pick anything, it's within reach. I don't like tall fruit trees, so this is just going to get bushier and bushier. I'll have to add on a section of fence around it to make it rounder, but these are going to be to where they're going to be nice and easy for me to harvest. So forget about tall. I want nice and bushy, and I don't want to have to get on a ladder or climb the tree. So let's go check out my other ones. Okay, so right over here is another nice loquat tree. Remember, they're different varieties that I mentioned earlier, but all the way around it, I have Seminole pumpkins coming in. Some of them are ripe, some of them aren't ripe. These come in really heavy in the spring, and then throughout the summer, I'm harvesting the Seminole pumpkin, giving it to my chickens and eating them. And you can see in the fall, the blossoms all come back, and then it'll have a whole nother round of fruit. So let me go ahead and walk in here carefully. Okay, so you can see how I thinned out the center. We got blossoms coming in up here and all the way around it. Not as many blossoms as the other variety, but you can see these. Okay, so you can see it's thinned out. It's coming up in threes. The center's cut out. I did that by design, upside down umbrella. But I let these two branches come in here, and they're gonna, and you see I got that 2x4 in it to hold it out so it don't go straight up. And I'm gonna go ahead and trim that and take the outer, so it's gonna come up and come out and not just grow straight up, because I want an upside down umbrella. So that's how I space it out. That way they come out. I'm going to take another bigger board and put it on top there pretty soon, and that will bend it over. I'll train it to go out more. So anyway, that's what this one looks like. Now this is the white. Now why it doesn't get as much blossoms as the gold, I don't know, but it's still a nice loquat tree, and maybe it's just going to take another year or so to get more in there. I don't know, but let's go check out my other one. I just passed up this banana rack, and it looks like it's just about time to harvest it. We're on my way to loquat tree, and I noticed that right over here, this rack is starting to yellow, so in a couple days, there's a beautiful rack right here. I'll be able to harvest this. Okay, so this is one of the red ones I got. Now this is the loquat tree. I'm gonna walk around, you can see the blossoms on it. Okay, so you can see there's some blossoms starting to come in right now. As I walk around, I'm gonna look. These are blossoming a little bit later than the gold. You can see some more up there. Now remember, the buds are just now coming in, so there's going to be more on there. They're going to blossom, get pollinated. There'll be more on here. But this tree too, I got from Willis. It was, you know, a foot tall. Now it's doing really good. I trimmed it up the same. You can see on the inside. You can see how the inside I trimmed it. It's like an upside down umbrella. They're looking really well in here. Okay, we'll go right over here, and I'm going to show you a Loquat tree that I purchased from somebody's garden. I purchased 2 of them. One did not make it because they dug it and ripped it out of the ground. And this one made it. You can see it has blossoms coming in right here. Some buds and some blossoms. Some of the blossoms didn't do good. They came in too early. Here's a Loquat on this one. And more buds and more blossoms around it. That's all Mexican sunflower that I cut. But you notice right over here, I got corrugated pipe on it because the deer will come in and strip off the whole trunk, and I don't want that. I did have this holding it at one time to make it straight, but I think it's doing really well. This one folded over during one of the hurricanes, and that's why I put that string around it. And you see the hose. I put the string through the hose, and then I pull it. If you put string right around the tree, it'll dig into the tree and the bark will grow over it. When you go ahead and put a hose on it, it doesn't do that. Okay, so let's go back over here. Okay, so we're back over here where I started. These are all potted, nothing else to do. I'm just gonna put them over there on my porch and just kind of make sure that they stay moist all the way till spring. And we'll see them coming up. They'll take approximately 2 months to sprout. About spring, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. That'd be 6 months from now. They should be tall enough to transplant them in a nice bed around the property. The thing I like about Loquats is, regardless of if you have Loquat fruit on it, which is a plus, just like banana plants, regardless if you got bananas on them, which you know I have a lot, is it looks so tropical. Well, with the Loquat, it's evergreen. So you have leaves on it summer, winter, spring, fall, and it's a really nice shrub or a really nice tree or plant to have around your property. It looks so good. And it's up tall enough where you could put some nice lower lining plants down below. It really highlights really nicely. So here y'all, I'm in front of some cranberry hibiscus that I put in my raised beds. These are rooting. They were real small, they're getting large, so they're rooted nicely. I'm gonna transplant them around the property. And in between, I put lettuce and collards and stuff like that. Even put another Seminole pumpkin going up and over and out. Now when the lettuce come in and all the other greens come in, these will shade them a little and they'll be in between, and it's all good with me, you know. So anyway, hey, I hope you enjoyed my video on planting Big Jim Loquat seeds. They're in here now. They're gonna germinate, sprout up. Fingers crossed. There's no guarantee, so I'm just going to cross my fingers and hope. And when I get ready to plant, or maybe even in between, I'll show you the progress. Of course, we'll do a planting video. I can't wait. These are going to be a nice addition to my property. So with that said, give me a like, give me a share. Come on over to my Facebook page. Come on over to my Facebook gardening group. See you soon.